Hey, today is Friday, April 16th, and I'm going to be reviewing the three trades I took today. Two of them were on Baba, both losing, and then one of them was on Tesla, which was winning. So as always, let's start with the daily time frame. So Baba, as I talked about in almost every single one of my videos, gapped up 14 bucks. I thought it would hold value fairly well and potentially break over 245 could trigger a move into 4-hour supply at 250. But quite frankly, we've been doing the opposite. We've not been holding value as well as I thought we would, and we're approaching this gap fill area. So um, I don't really have a bias on it. I'm just gonna take it into consideration if something sets up. Okay, so 5 minute time frame, intraday time frame. Uh, I took two trades on Baba, and I'm gonna go over both of them now. So the first trade on Baba was, let me just highlight my entry and exit. I entered and, or I entered and exited, I exited at the formation of this candle. So I entered on this green candle, stopped out on this red candle, for a very, very small loss. I only lost 10 cents per contract, which is practically break even for me. But it's really the reasoning of the trade and why I took it. So right off of market open, you can see that Baba rejected 45-minute supply, started coming lower, and for 25 minutes of the market open, Baba didn't have one single green candle. So let's look at ES and NQ. So for the first 25 minutes, we had two or three green candles. Same with NQ. You can see that NQ had this massive drop in the beginning, but from 9:30 to 9:45, NQ moved higher while Baba moved lower. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that Baba has clear signs of relative weakness. On top of that, we have this 1 hour wedge. I just want to see if I'm recording. Okay. So Baba had formed this wedge pattern. Just go over it quickly. Actually, let me go to a 1 hour time frame so you can clearly see the wedge. Right. So Baba found resistance at this wedge multiple times. We rejected here once. We rejected here twice. We rejected here 3 times in pre-market. And then same for the top, upper resistance. We rejected twice, rejected 3 times, and then rejected 4 and 5 times. So this wedge on a 1 hour time frame formed in Baba, and a break of either direction could have an explosive move basically, and that's really what I was watching. So we already have one confirmation here. Baba has clear signs of relative weakness, right? I didn't want to chase this breakout at 9:55, even though it worked out, just because we came from 241 to around 239, so around a $3 move with no periods of consolidation on a stock like Baba is huge. It's massive. Uh, so where I entered is once we broke this, we came and we started retesting this wedge. And it doesn't look like we retested it, but if you're watching price action in real time, we clearly rejected it and we were moving lower, and hence I entered somewhere around here. Somewhere around, I think it was 238.75. So honestly, it was a little bit near the bottom of this wedge, or bottom of this candle. So not only did Baba have relative weakness, that's one confirmation. We broke this wedge, and at the time we were holding it as resistance. So that's two confirmations. We have this may not look like good volume, but this is actually very, very consistent volume. Throughout this sell-off, sellers were clearly present. We weren't decreasing in volume. We were holding volume very, very well. To me, this is lack of momentum. This volume right here. You can see that volume here completely died down, so that means for me there wouldn't be a trade here. But up in here, in the morning session, we had clear volume, and that's telling me that sellers are present. So volume confirmation is one, relative weakness is two, break and potential retest, or it was retesting this wedge, three. Um, at the same time, you can see that ES broke out of this 1 hour demand and was forming this drop, base, drop formation right here. This is a clear drop, base, drop. Obviously, it failed, it didn't work out, but I mean, uh, at the time I saw this lower wick, this green candle had not yet formed, so I saw a drop, base, broke out of its demand. It was near lower day and had the potential to move lower. So not only did ES and NQ align, but Baba had three confirmations on this play, and that was the reason I took this play. Obviously, it didn't work out. Not every trade is gonna work out, but I really don't think it gets better than this. I mean, five confirmations if you count ES and NQ as well. Everything aligned up on this trade. It didn't work out. I guess the counter argument you can make is that if we have such an extended move, we need more periods of consolidation. But that really didn't concern me because we could have easily retested this and went lower as we did here. I just got unlucky with the time, and I mean that's fine. I only stopped out for 10 cents a contract, which is break even for me. And if it only risks losing 10 cents per contract to take such a high probability trade like this, then I will be taking it 10 out of 10 times. Next, I want to go over my second play on Baba, and this was a play which cost me about 25 cents per contract. And honestly, this was a play which I should have avoided. So, let's go. Sorry about that. Today's action. Oh wait, yeah, right. This is today's action. Okay, so when I stopped out of this 5 minute rally or when I stopped out of my first play for Baba, it still wasn't out of play for me. I saw what I saw on a 30-minute time frame was this massive drop candle. I mean, this moved the entire pre-market session. It moved more than it would in a typical day, and it moved that much in a 30-minute period. So sellers, look at this volume to amazing volume. Sellers are completely in control. There's absolutely no reason to go long on Baba here, unless you have a different strategy. But for mine, huge 30-minute drop candle, and this basing candle is what caught my attention. Uh, Buyers tried to take us higher, but look at this wick. This was a $1 wick on a 30-minute time frame, and we closed green. So what I was speculating was a 30-minute drop, base and drop, and this drop worked out not as well as I wanted, but it definitely worked out. The drop candle moved $1, and this is the play that I was speculating to happen. But yet I took a losing trade on this, and this is what I want to cover in today's video. This is really the main lesson. So I was looking at some place to go short here, maybe some sort of volume confirmation to go short, maybe some sort of drop based drop on a 5 or 15 minute, maybe some sort of confirmation from ES or NQ. But what I saw is NQ had formed this 15-minute supply here. I got rid of it because I mean it invalidated it later in the day, but this we had formed 15-minute supply which was fresh on NQ around 10:20. So look at the 10:20 candle on Baba too. We immediately rejected. We started moving lower. So I'm looking at some sort of short play to go short on. But where I entered and what the mistake was is I entered right here. And I talk about this in literally every single video. The reason why I didn't take Baba for this 30-minute drop based drop initially was because I couldn't see any sort of volume confirmation. Yes, we had good volume for the first 20-25 minutes, but then after that, what did volume start to do? Volume started to decrease right here. From 10 to around 10:25, volume is straight decreasing. So for me, that's a lack of momentum and hence lack of a play. Um, but by the time, look at this 1030 candle. This is the volume I was looking for before the breakout. Uh, but sadly, it happened during the breakout, so I wasn't comfortable taking it below low a day, which would have been an amazing play in hindsight because it's also correlated with relative weakness, high volume, and a 30-minute drop-based drop, as well as NQ rejecting supply. So multiple confirmations, and this was a good play. But my mistake was after I saw this red candle close, I shouldn't have chased here. If Baba went lower, I would have to accept that while my analysis was correct, I would have missed the play. There's no reason to chase a move which came from 240 to 237.8 without any period of consolidation. That's exactly what I did. I always talk about how the market moves from impulse to consolidation to impulse, and hence, if I entered on the impulse move, I'm going to suffer the consequences of the consolidation phase. And hence, I stopped out here. Not even there, honestly. It was a little bit above. It was somewhere here. My stop was a close below 238.5. We closed above. We started moving higher, and I stopped out here. We didn't have demand below. We had a gap fill, so I was really targeting the 235 key level. So in terms of risk to reward, it was really, really good. But my mistake is that I chased consolidation with volume. Then maybe I would have reconsidered. But at this point, the 30-minute drop-based drop is too extended for me to have played. So yeah, this was a losing trade which I could have avoided. At this point, I'm 0 for 2 on the day, down I think like $70. Which is fine. My trading hasn't been the best lately. I had a horrible trading day yesterday. Today was not good as well. Up to this point. So I quickly reevaluated. I just sat on hands for the rest of the day until Tesla said. Thank God for Tesla. I mean, Tesla saves me almost every day when it sets up nicely. But you can see that NQ, I mean, really until like 2.5 hours into market open, really did nothing. I mean, we chopped around. ES also, first 2.5 hours we chopped around. Um, but then NQ started pushing higher in this area, and this is where I took my Tesla trade. Um, One thing I want to go over quickly is that if the market is choppy, that just means that there's less setups to occur. But if there is a good setup in choppy conditions, I will still take the setup if everything lines up perfectly. I don't have a rule saying that if the market is choppy, I won't trade, because I mean, then I would just be missing a shit ton of setups. Sorry for my language, but um, let me go over the daily time frame for Tesla. Mm, so we had this nice impulse move up. We've been consolidating, holding value fairly nicely. I have more of a long than a short bias, but honestly, it's not strong enough for me to say that I won't go short. So at this point, I'm just playing the levels and zones, seeing if anything sets up. So let's go to a 5 minute time frame. Mm, so what did Tesla do right off of market open? We opened up into 1 hour demand. Market as cautious, but this was clearly 1 hour demand looking back. We start moving higher. I know a couple of people who took this, I think 10-20 breakout. The reason I didn't play is because, I mean, for me, all I saw were these long upper wicks, and that's just indicating selling pressure, and that's why I stayed away from Tesla. Even this 10-20 break, I mean, we moved $8 without any period of consolidation. So buying here, in my opinion, is just chasing. Now, a lot of wicks all over the place. Could have been a good setup. I avoided it. For me, it wasn't the highest probability, but Tesla was holding value fairly well. You can see that when Tesla started to catch momentum at 12:20, and this is where you have to be really, really quick as a trader. You have to be able to sit on hands for 2.5 hours, and then if something sets up in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you have to be able to react really quickly, formulate a plan, exit plan, entry area, stop loss. You need to be able to do all of these things in a blink of an eye. And what I saw on Tesla was a couple of things. First of all, at 12:20, what is Tesla doing? It's breaking high day and it's holding value. Look at the volume as well. So this catches my eye. One, we have volume confirmation. Two, we have relative strength because we broke above high day. What are the equities doing? They're choppy at 12:20. We're not even close to high day for ES. On 12:20, we're approaching this 15-minute use supply. uh, a 15-minute use supply usually never really works out again because it's lower because it's been used and it's a smaller time frame. So I wasn't too afraid of this supply zone. But the main point is at 12:20, Tesla or NQ isn't even close to high day as well. So Tesla is one of the only equities that I'm watching with clear signs of relative strength. What do I notice next? Pre-market high. Pre-market high is at 740.8. 740.8. 740.7. So I know a lot of traders, a lot of algorithms are watching this 740.7 level. A break above it could trigger algorithms for a move higher. That's exactly what happened. On top of that, where was Tesla's uh high day for yesterday? 739, 740. Where does Tesla have a key level? Key level at 739. So not only did we have pre-market high, prior day's high, key level, but we had relative strength, we had volume confirmation, we had NQ pushing up, and last but not least, we had this 5 minute rally base rally. So I just listed eight confirmations there. And I mean if you're not taking this type of play, then I don't know what type of play you're taking because in this case, literally every single confirmation bouncing off demand as well. Um, Relative strength, volume confirmation, key levels, technical levels above, breaking out of this channel as well. Everything aligned for Tesla here. So I mean, as soon as we started coming above this 5 minute rally base rally, took it here at 12:34. I think my fill was 6 seconds before Dylan's. So me and Dylan had the same mindset going into this trade. Look at this Tesla, and I, in hindsight, yeah, I should have waited till we hit 2 hour supply, but I took profits a little bit faster just because on Tesla I only play one contract because premiums are very volatile. But I mean, I just caught an $8 move on Tesla, right? Entered at 795, exited at 1020, made over $200 on this play. Everything aligned up. It was bound to work out. This was just an A plus setup. Look at the volume here. It's unbelievable. The the 1240 volume candle, which 1240 is lunch hours, right? So not a lot of traders are trading here. But this 1240 volume candle was higher than the opening bell candle. So I mean, this is just clear signs of bullish action. This is what you want to be a part of. This is what you want to be able to capitalize on. And this just proves that one high quality trade, even if you only capitalize on this one high quality trade this week, that would have put you up very nicely on the week as well. Uh, my win rate, to be honest, hasn't really been the best, but my growth on the account has been phenomenal just because I'm focusing on these high quality plays and trying to avoid some of the other mediocre plays. But I think I'm gonna end the video here. I think I rambled on for quite a bit. And I mean, just have a good weekend. Take a day off from the charts as always. And I'll be back on Monday to trade again.